Hello, and welcome to my playthrough of Critter Island. This piece started out as a normal project, but ultimately became a little mini-game, which you can download and play for yourself. But I will give you a rundown of the playthrough. So, you immediately start by a portal that you just ventured through. You're an adventurer who travels through portals and end up in this world. When you move out of the cave, you stumble upon your first critter, who introduces you to the world. This is to ease you into the hub behind him. He tells you that you're welcome to visit the hub if you like. Here, you get a nice establishing shot of the hub, Critter Village. This is now your short-term goal. To utilize the 10-second rule of keeping you stimulated, I put several obstacles, turns, and height differences in your way. This is to keep the adventure engaging and to eliminate the feeling of walking in a single road forward. As you might have noticed, you follow a yellow path. This is to lead you forward in the right direction. This critter will explain how the elevator platforms work. This is how you traverse through the different zones in this world. This is not only an effective way to take you from one place to another, but also to build anticipation to what you discover in this world. This little critter here explains where you might want to navigate first in this village. He points you towards the blue house and the blue critter in case you get confused or where to go next. Let's go visit the blue critter to see what he might have in store for you. This blue critter is the main quest, hence why the critter by the bridge tells you to go to him first. He wants you to complete a quest for you, to bring him 10 blue crystals from the Crystal Cave. But let's explore for a bit before we move on. Each of the colored houses are quest houses. Blue is for collecting 10 crystals, yellow is for escorting back a critter's lost daughter to the village, red is for delivering a message to another critter, and pink is for collecting 30 pink lemons. I chose to keep it color-coded for easy navigation. It also makes the quest critters stand out from the rest of the critters. All of the critters in the village and outside are interactable and gives you a little bit of conversation with you. Some even gives a little bit of insight about who they are, what they like, and what some critters do here. You have now obtained all quests, and are ready to explore. Let's head back to the elevator platform to see what this world has to offer. Immediately when you go back using the elevator platform, you can see blue crystals in the distance. I intentionally blocked this part of the world off when you first ventured towards the village, so you could discover this from a different view when leaving the hub. The blue crystals are there to guide you forward towards the main quest. You now enter the forest island, where you can find the first lemon tree neatly placed near the entrance. This is one of the side quests that you can skip altogether or engage in and take your mind off the main objective for a while. Here you can find a critter walking about. He tells you that you can find the pink lemons around here. This is to encourage exploration and to keep you stimulated in your adventure. There are a total of 5 lemon trees on the forest island, some easier to discover than others. I placed the lemon trees so sparsely to really give you a reason to explore the island, and also because it lets you know that the exploring becomes a vital exercise in case you want to finish all the quests. It also plays a role in keeping you motivated throughout the experience. You might have noticed a village out in the distance. We'll get to that in a bit. You have now entered the Crystal Cave, where you immediately stumble upon another red critter. He's the letter recipient. but don't forget to go back to the red critter in the village to confirm that your quest is done. As you can see, the cave is full of blue crystals, but only the tiny blinking ones stand out from all of the crystals. These are the crystals that you need to collect to finish the main quest. Here is a vista of another village in the distance. This is to further build on the story that the critters you help out are not alone in the sky. Some even have mastered the floating islands and can take on the sky as they choose. Before we collect the rest of the blue crystals, let's talk to the yellow critter in the cave. This is the lost daughter that becomes the escort quest. You need to bring her back to the village to finish this quest. The escort quest becomes a rabbit hole in a sense, to take your mind off of the main quest for a bit. Let's collect all the blue crystals. Inside the cave, I played around a little bit with height differences to give the cave a bit of depth. Not only height-wise, but also with the bridges that extend from one side to another to imply a sense of deepness. The cave is only lit with crystals and some torches to change up the pace. When venturing from the outside open area into the cave, it makes you feel isolated from the other islands, and to keep you focused on the quest inside the cave itself. Here is a shortcut platform that will take you near the village if you want to complete the main quest quicker, so you don't have to backtrack all the way through the cave and the forest again. Here are the platforms that the blue critter wants you to bring crystals for. When you bring him the crystals, he will fix them up so you can leave through the end portal. Let's go back and escort the lost daughter to the village. The daughter is following you at all times until she reaches the village. She's not too fast, which is why you need to keep track of her until she reaches the village. This gives you a chance to take a breather from time to time while escorting her, and have a look around in the world. This gives me some time to talk about my design too. I wanted to create a world that is cute and wholesome, that uses composition to guide the player forward. Like for instance, the hub. The first time you see the hub is from a higher ground inside a rock formation that works as a frame, which gives you the impression that the hub is small and easy to navigate from the get-go. When entering the hub, it becomes a lot larger to you, which changes your perspective of the hub in an instance. This is also a motivator for exploration. The same goes for when you use the elevator platforms. You can take a good guess of where we'll end up when using them, but when the platforms reach their destination, they reveal something new to you. Take the Crystal Cave platform for instance. Before you take the platform up, the cave entrance is just a tiny hole that reveals nothing in particular, but still gives off an impression of mystery. When the platform reaches the top, the whole cave opens up and becomes something bigger and enticing that you'll want to discover. I feel like I've accomplished this type of design pretty well, keeping the player engaged with this world while also wanting to discover more and more. The best part of the adventure is the critters in my opinion. They give the whole experience so much character and helps bring the world building forward. I decided to keep the design of the critters from the old assignment because they enhance the cute look. That's why I decided to make this project into a playable version, so that anyone who wants to play it for themselves and discover the critters on their own can do it. If you haven't downloaded the playable version already, you can find the download link at the top of this page. Now that you've reached the village with the lost daughter, we need to make sure that she gets to her worried mother. When the daughter reaches a certain point in the village, she immediately stops following you and walks over to where her mother is. When the daughter reaches the house, the quest is completed. Let's head over to the red critter and let him know that we have delivered the message. Once he is aware that the message has been delivered, this quest is also completed. Let's go deliver the pink lemons to the pink critter to complete this quest as well. Before we go to the blue critter, let's talk to the worried mother to see what she has to say. Alright, now we head over to the blue critter to give him the blue crystals. This quest is now also completed. As you can see, you're now teleported from the village directly to the cave so you don't have to do another trip through the forest and the cave. This is to avoid a constant walk from one point to another throughout the game. Now, the platforms are finally fixed and we can use them to get out of here. The first idea of this last island was a field with grasslands and trees, but I figured it might be too plain and boring for a last island. That is why I settled for a mountain island instead. That way I can play around with height differences that make sense and create some natural curves with the assets. This also gives me a way to block off your sightlines for a little bit before revealing a final view over the whole world at one location. Alright, time to end this gameplay by going through the portal. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.